to look like and how much we're going to work on that. So I'm going to share my screen and take us to hopefully where I need to be. Let's see. Thank you, sir. Okay, hopefully this is the right one. It's always a good try. All right, so today our learning targets. And one of the reasons I asked you to bring or to have your dictionary available is today you are going to be using your resources to find the meaning of unfamiliar vocabulary. Some of the words you ran into yesterday in your 2 pages that you read, page 16 and 17, those you may have seen some words that you weren't sure about. And so today is your option to go ahead and figure out what those words mean by either using, and today you're going to have an option of using a dictionary or being able to use the words around it like we normally do as a close reader. I can gather information from a text and take notes into provided categories. So today, remember, I've been building you up to being able to do your own note catcher. I'm going to review real quick in a minute what those note catchers look like that we did. But I want also for you so that you'll have a reminder of how we did them together. But today you're going to work on it independently. I know you guys can handle it. So again, so what I noticed from yesterday, and when you took, Mrs. Aubin and I noticed for remotes and for in person, that when we ask you to read the text slowly and really think about it before you go to the questions, we find that you rush a lot. And some of you were like, I can't find this thing that, there were a couple different animals that you couldn't find, but they were in the text. But if you read it too quickly, they weren't necessarily a picture. They weren't necessarily one of the photographs that were there. And so some of you had a really hard time. I can't find it. It's not in here. Well, it was. I could point at it. I could explicitly point to that in the text. So some of you need to slow down and really look at what the information is. And even if you are done with part 1 and you're on to part 2, you still need to, I'm actually going to ask everybody for a couple of moments to reread pages 16 and 17 before you do anything. Before I hand out new stuff, I just want you to reread it, okay? Because some of you made some silly mistakes because you read too fast, okay? And I know you guys are good readers, but the way to show me is to do your best job and not rush. So today you're going to look at some words and you're going to be able to figure out what they mean. Either reading around the word, looking at the affixes, the prefixes, the suffixes, and see what they mean, looking at the root word, or today you actually do get to use your dictionary to look to see if you can find the words. We also have your book, so you also find your word in the glossary. It might be a possibility. All right, so yesterday we answered several multiple choice or selected response questions. Today we are going to be researching. We're going to be using the text to help us come up with a note catcher that eventually could be used to answer a question in a paragraph. So that's why we're gathering information for a why question. All right, I need you to persevere today. Some of you get frustrated fairly easily, and we just want to take a couple deep breaths. Mrs. Harrison was really rushed at the beginning of this class, right? So she took a minute to take a breath. Wasn't even more than 15 seconds that I took, but it really calmed me down, and I was ready to move on and work. Each of you needs to use whatever technique works for you. Some deep breaths, some counting back from 10, some positive self-talk, whatever it is that works for you. If you get frustrated today, I need you to try that. Some of this work is challenging, isn't it? If we were giving you easy work, it would be, then we wouldn't be teaching you new things, right? It's got to be a little bit challenging because it's making you a stronger reader. Keep trying and ask if you're struggling, you can always ask me. Some of you asked me a question and I can answer it easily. Some of you asked me a question yesterday and I had to tell you that I couldn't quite tell you the answer. So I will do that. I don't mind. Mrs. Aubin, same thing, right? So if kids have questions on the work, Mrs. Aubin will give you the best answer she can without, making the test, you know, so that she's answering it, not you. All right. So self-talk, some deep breaths. You guys can persevere through this today. All right. So yesterday you read through pages 16 and 17. So Miss Cernay, I'm especially talking to you so you can hear about what the directions are since you missed this section. You're going to read some pages in your book, in your frog book. And for those of you who are still taking the test, you still have the opportunity to go back and check your answers and make sure that they're really the ones you want and finish the ones that you hadn't finished. And so go through those pages. You're going to really look at the text closely and answer the questions, making sure you read all of the answers before you choose one, right? Always read the question carefully and the answers. Some of those answers were really super close yesterday, weren't they? Like you were like, I don't know which one it is. It's all of them. Or some of you read them and said, oh, I don't think it's any of them. So go back and reread that section, right? All right. So that's what some of you are going to start with today. The rest of us, part 2 is going to look like this right here. Does it look familiar? The 3 sections? Okay, for sure. I'm going to go ahead and put this in present mode because I want to read the actual directions from here. My friends who are at home, you are going to have a Google Doc that has all of these parts. So that you're going to fill in a Google Doc and turn it in with your assignment. Oh, snuggle bunnies. Okay, there we go. So let's take a look real quick at this here. So the directions, you're going to get the directions again in front of you, but I want you to just listen to them for now, okay? So it says reread page 16 and 17 to find the information to answer this research question. We are going to give you time to just do that. We're going to say just read. Don't put pencils down. Nobody try to do anything. Just read. Then this is the research question. So right now, get this in your brain. This is the question that you're trying to answer in the note catcher, okay? Here we go. How do reptiles and amphibians use bright colors to protect themselves? Nope. Keep that in your head, Ms. Lyric. I'm glad you have an answer in your head. Good. That's what you're going to be answering today. How they use the bright colors to protect themselves. Now, were all those sentences on page 16 and 17 strictly about that? Not necessarily. So does that information need to apply today? Not necessarily, okay? Focus on the question. So you are going to use information from the text and the illustrations to fill out the graphic organizer. It has 3 sections, just like all the other ones. You're going to include at least 2 pieces of information in each box. What grade will you get if you do a really nice job on 2 pieces? What will that give you, Paxton? A 3. That's the benchmark, right? A 3. What if you want to earn a 4? Then what do you need to do you think? Mr. Logan, what do you think? What do you have to do if you want a 4? For Mrs. Woodland.
3.
You need to put 3 or more in. You need to do some extra work, right, to get a 4, because 4 is beyond expectations. So if we are expecting 2 really nice ones for a 3, then if you do more than that, you get the possibility of a 4. And Mrs. Woodland will be the grader, so you really make sure that she can read it well, right? All right. So when you look for facts and details, and I'm going to show you really quickly the 2 that we've already done. And you have them in your workbook. So even though they won't be up here, you can always refer to them in your workbook to help you. You're like, I don't remember what's supposed to go in this section. You can look in your workbook and look at the old ones to see and to help you, okay? I'm not trying to trick anybody. I really want you to do your best job on your own. Okay, so when you're putting your facts and details, make sure that they answer the actual question. Don't put facts and details that don't answer the question. And they want you to use your own words. But what did we decide last time we can do if we want to write the words directly from the book? Who remembers that? Miss Lila?
If you write it directly from the book, you have to
Not parentheses. You're close though. What are those little tiny things that go around something that somebody says directly? Quotation marks. Good. If you want to quote the book, if you want to write the sentence direct, if you're like, I just can't figure out how to say this in my own words, If you want to write the fact, what do you need to do? Put the quotation marks around it. If it's not yours, if you go ahead and change the words, then you don't need the quotation marks. Mrs. Woodland's going to be looking for those quotation marks if you copied directly. Okay, she'll be looking for those. All right. It says definitions can be from the dictionary or your own words. So you have a dictionary, and if you don't have a dictionary, we've got some extras. We're going to try to see if we have enough. But you can look in the dictionary for a definition. But if you think you already know what that word means, do you have to use the dictionary? No, you can use your own words for that. Choose words that are important to answering the question. So Mrs. Harrison used, I'm going to go ahead and real quickly show you some of those examples that we, oh, I'm going to have to escape out of there. Maybe it's not going to let me. Oh boy. Oh, there we go. All right, so let's look at some of the examples that we use. All right, let me make this bigger. Oh, maybe not. Oh my goodness.
I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you get a bag of tennis shoes yesterday?
I did.
Can I have them, please?
Yeah, well, we tried them on. We weren't sure who's they, because we thought they were Lila's.
Yeah.
Lila, will you walk over and help her see which ones that were the ones we had yesterday?
Thank you. Thank you.
You are welcome. Yes. All right. So we solved everybody's problem, hopefully. All right. So here we are. This is the one we did on polywogs. Everybody's eyes are up here, or if you're on your screen. Everybody, Miss Haley, can you see that okay? Haley Calendar, can you see it okay? All right, making sure. Leo, you can see it okay? All right, so now this part here is going to be on one side of your paper and this is going to be on the other. And if you're at home, you're going to have all of these just in a string of things. But you'll notice that it has a research question. Why do polywogs wiggle? We wanted to answer just that question. Focus statement. You're going to have to write a focus statement today. You're going to have to write a sentence that answers that question. That would be your main sentence for your paragraph. Remember focus statements? Focus statements, that important sentence in your paragraph. So we decided polywogs move by wiggling because they have no legs. That was our main sentence. And then we put a bunch of details and facts that supported that, right? Things that we thought it was important that they know. Amphibians, polywog, metamorphosis. We didn't use metamorphosis, but we might have used that in their paragraph, right? Because that has to do with the no legs part. So in this one, Mrs. Harrison got a 4, yay, for that part, right? Because we had 3, and we have definitions for all of them. All right, facts. Amphibians breed in water. Amphibians lay soft jelly-like eggs in water. Baby amphibians live entirely in water. And here are our details that went with that. They swim like fish. They breathe through gills. They develop legs and crawl onto land as they grow. All of these sentences came from those pages that we were reading. All right, they all have to do with wiggling because they have no legs. Okay, and that they live in, so amphibians breed in water. Well, the water is where the tadpoles are, right? So they have to be able to swim, right? Okay, this is the one we did for the glass frogs. Here again is your focus statement, that sentence that we used that was most important. The glass frog is unique because it is transparent to help it survive. Why is it so hard to see? Well, it's transparent. Why is it transparent? Because it wants to survive, right? So there's our sentence. You're going to write a focus statement for today's question. So think about what you might, when you're reading today, think about what you might write as your focus statement. Okay, then we had 3 sections. We said canopy was a good word for people to know because we could say how it survives, where in the tree it survives and how it blends in with the leaves. Transparent means see-through. Parasitic. Now wait, that was a word that we had, but is parasitic a word that helped us answer our question? No. So would I get credit for Mrs. Woodland if I did parasitic?
No.
Probably not, because that doesn't really go with our topic. But, so that's why I left it. I wrote this word, but then I didn't finish it because it didn't quite make sense with our question. Facts. They live in the rainforest of Central America, South and Central America. They blend in with their surroundings. They're transparent from beneath. Ooh, what grade did I get on this section? Ooh, I got a 4 on this one, didn't I? Yeah, so each section gets a grade. This section will get a 1, 2, 3, or 4. This section gets a 1, 2, or 3, or 4, and this section gets a 1, 2, 3, or hopefully 4. And I had 3 ideas here. Now, if they are in my words, I can just write them. If they're in words from the text, I need to write what? Quotation marks, right? Quotation marks, if I copy, right? All right. So here, those are our 2 examples of 2 that we have already done. All right. So when you see today's assignment, you're going to have 2, especially my friends, at least my friends who are in person, you are going to have all of the stuff I showed you. I'm going to go back to that. You're going to have this section up here, the directions again, but you're also going to have a place for your focus statement with lines. What are you going to write on the lines? Uh-oh, what are you going to write on the lines? Under focus statement? The focus statement, right? You're going to write your sentence that's your main answer to the question. And again, Mrs. Harrison wrote the question twice. Why do you think she wrote the question twice? So that you really understand what you're supposed to be answering the question to. So Mrs. Harrison wrote it up here, plus she also wrote it here. And on your papers that are actual on paper, it's also written twice. So you can see it. So the question again is, how do reptiles and amphibians use bright colors to protect themselves? That's where, and then you're going to write your answer. It's only going to be 1 sentence, right? A focus statement is 1 sentence. Mrs. Harrison gave you lots of lines though, so that you could make it as long as you needed to make sense for you. Okay. All right. When you are done today with your assignment, so Mrs. Aubin, this is one of those things that when you're with the remote friends, you'll need to make sure that they do. Inside their workbook, they're going to give themselves a self-assessment. It's page 87, and I'm going to do that when you finish. Oh, when you finish early in here, I'm going to ask you to do the very same thing. I'm going to ask you to open your workbook to page 87 and 88, and to give yourself a little self-assessment. So it says, I can refer to the text to answer and ask and answer questions. You're going to rate yourself. Not now, because you haven't finished the test yet, have you? Okay, so as you're taking the test, you're thinking, am I doing these things? And you're going to grade yourself how you think you did today and yesterday on page 87 and 88. I will help you find that if you need to when you're done with your test for today. All right, making sure Mrs. Harrison's where she needs to be. Okay, our main learning target today, again, is to be able to use those unfamiliar words, figure out what unfamiliar words mean. And can you use your dictionary today? Yes, so did we use the dictionary for any of our words on these 2? No, but we're giving you, because you're doing it independently, we're giving you that choice, okay? Because you may not know what it means and you may need to. So you can use the dictionary. We figured it out together, all right? Okay, so I'm going to show my friends real quickly who are online what they need to find so that they can complete this assignment. And then I'm going to get everybody else started on their work. Everybody's just going to read first. What is going on now? Uh-oh. Okay, let's see what's going on here. Oh, it just got stuck. That's okay. All right, so right here, my friends at home, do you see it says mid-unit assessment part 2? Today is Tuesday. So when you open it up, you are going to see some different things. Here are the Google Slides I just went over in case you need them. Here is a copy of the book, Miss Abby. So you can click on there and you can find pages 16 and 17, Miss Abby, right in that book. And the rest of us are going to open up this assignment after Mrs. Aubin says it's okay. So just listen for now. Mrs. Aubin was going to want, and there's your instructions again. The same instructions I just did. There's the idea about putting quotation marks. Here's the place where you're going to type your focus statement. So you're going to click inside the box and then you're going to type. Oh, what happened? Oh no, undo. Who knows what it was thinking? Uh-oh. All right, so if you click in the box, is it not going to let me blah, blah, blah? I think it just didn't like that I was doing so many at one time. All right, you're going to, don't just type random letters, but type your focus statement with a capital and a period inside the box, okay? And then your definition, there's the place. If as long as you keep typing, the box should get bigger. But if for some reason it doesn't, you can just click on it and make the box bigger, Mrs. Aubin, in case they run into that. Here's your facts. Here's your details. All you have to do is scroll down. And then, my friends at home, when you turn in your assignment, it will send it to me to grade, or actually to me and Mrs. Aubin. Do not share it. Yep, ignore this. Do not do the share. Just turn in your assignment because it makes you your very own. Okay, so just don't share. No, 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 X, no, no, no. Just go to your assignment and turn in, and it'll send it to me, and then I'll share it with Mrs. Woodland. All right, so that she's going to grade it. So do your best work because she's going to see our spelling. She's going to see our, all of our good works and all of our sentences. Okay, give me a thumbs up if you're going to try for a 4 today in your sections. Give me a thumbs up if you're going to try for a 4 today. Ooh, I have almost, some of you know you're not going to try for a 4. Okay, well, I think you should try. Definitely try. All right, whether you want to or not, give it a try. Okay, so Mrs. Aubin, I'm going to go ahead and I'll go ahead and hand out. If you want to go next door and continue on with our friends, just to get that so they can read, I'm going to go ahead and stop recording.